Konnichiwa and welcome to our presentation about negotiation in Japan. Planning in advance of the meeting. Preparation in Japan is very important, hence you have to have at least 2 meetings, one to know each other and the other one to negotiate. You should prepare yourself about the Japanese culture, especially about the meaning of nonverbal gestures in order to not offend someone. They are very attached to their traditions and hierarchy, so an attendance list is needed and also a table order according to their ranks. Make sure that if you need a translator, older Japanese people tend not to speak English. Interpersonal relationship building. Before getting into a business meeting with a Japanese business partner, it is of great importance that the business partner actually knows you on a personal level, that is aware about your character and your personal life. So usually you don't really start with business on a business meeting, but you have to first get to know each other a bit and then talk about your personal life. What also is quite important in Japan is that you never try to humiliate your business partner in front of other people, because loss of face is very conservative in Japan. Exchanging tasks. By introducing yourself to a Japanese businessman and after presenting your name and company, you don't bring a whole stack of business cards, and it is considered very impolite to bring the cards out of your wallet. Instead, when you are introducing yourself to a Japanese businessman, you also give a business card keeping in mind the ranking of your partners. So the CEO is always first and then the vice president, etc. Also, the business card should be counted so it matches the number of business partners, and they should be held in a card holder. After a cup of tea or coffee, you think it's about time to get started. You should not hurry your host to finish the tea and start the show. It is considered very impolite in Japan. So instead, what you should do is wait until your business partner is finished with the cup of tea or the cup of coffee, and they advise you to start with the task. Rushing it, as said before, is not helping and is considered very impolite. So after they send you an invitation to start, then you can actually start your presentation. During the presentation, your business partners in Japan won't be very impressed if you brag about your company, saying it is the best in the world. So instead, it is important to be modest and explain what the company might be able to do and how things work. Japanese tend to sit there and smile and don't ask questions about what they don't understand, so it is important to be clear and simple. After the presentation, the worst thing to do is to rush your business partners into signing the contract right away. Japanese usually take time and don't rush into things. They like to discuss verbally rather than putting things on paper. So you should be willing to discuss the circumstances and answer all the questions they might have, and hold on to getting the paper signed, because it will take some time. Persuasion. When negotiating with Japanese, there are many situations where persuasion is important. Remember to be polite and understanding. A softer, more subtle approach is mostly more effective. It is best to be well prepared and not to be overly emotional. During negotiations with Japanese, be sure to show that your view is shared by others in your team and company. This appeals to the Japanese culture and their respect for teamwork. Japanese feel that many hats are better than one and like to see that you have had many hats working on that. Try to persuade Japanese with thorough research analysis. Japanese love data. When making decisions, they tend to want to get as much information as possible. The more research and analysis you do, thus the more data you can present, the more likely you will be successful persuading Japanese. The agreement. They usually avoid confrontation. When their negotiation partner didn't meet their expectations, they simply cut contact and leave their partner with no answer. When your Japanese negotiation partner left you with no information, don't be afraid that there still might be a chance for renegotiation. They might reconsider renewing contract if you propose to change some of the bullet points of your contract. The contract is signed after long-lasting conversation and general oral agreements. Details are usually established later on. Especially if you get an answer after a month or two, you probably would have to renegotiate in some points of your contract because there was maybe misunderstanding. This is very natural in Japan. The decision is mostly made by the whole board as a form of consensus of its all members. However, the CEO is always the one with the last word of it.